Hello y'all, my name is Moose and welcome to my channel Just Moose Things. Today we are celebrating the album This Is Why by Paramore. This album was released on February 10th, 2023 and is celebrating 1 year this year. In celebration, we'll be reviewing this album and take a journey into this beautiful music. This album has 10 songs and is 36 minutes long. We'll be going through each song, all 10 songs, and then talking about how we feel about each of these songs. Okay, let's get started. First song on the album, This Is Why, same song as the album title. Vocals here, ooh, yes. This is why. Right here, the vocals. Very good start to an album. Yes, I like it. This was their first single out of this album. This is why I think they announced it in fall 2023, September 2023. They announced the song. They announced this album. Yes. Yeah, so quite different from their last album, just going off of like where they left off and After Laughter and starting with this song. Just hearing the direction of where this song was as a single, like their first single, and the sound it was producing got me very excited. I'm like, if this is the sound we're heading towards, I'm all here for it. Definitely Hard Times gave me the same thing of like, if this is the song we're going towards, I'm here for it. And clearly that continued on through After Laughter. And same thing with This Is Why, it kind of give like, this is the sound and the vibe we're going for. Get ready for it. And it was a very good start to the album. Second song on the album is called The News. Or vocals right here. So good. Turn on. The cowbell. So good. Cowbell right here. The cowboy in this song. Cowbell. Right here.
All along we called it normal.
You can hear her voice just go. Such a good song. Oh my gosh. So yeah, this was their second single off this album. I believe they released this song late fall. If I had to throw a guess, it'd be December, if I remember correctly. Again, it's kind of different in a like still when it's in the same realm, but like on the opposite side of the spectrum of where This Is Why the song is. Honestly, when I first heard it, I was so happy because it was giving me a mix of, at least vibe wise, like their sound wise, of Riot and Brand New Eyes, mix with the matureness and the sound of After Laughter, and then This Is Why. Like just have those two albums, have these two albums, or I'm sorry, self-titled and After Laughter, like those two albums. So you kind of mix those two and then you mix all four of them together and you get the news. Like it's a lot of their modern sound or instrumentation, but you also still get like the roughness of their earlier music and mix it all together and you get the news. So that made me happy because again, it is still something new and it still goes along with the sounds of their, where they are now, but it still kind of like throws back to like where they came from. And that I feel like that's the song that really incorporates that the best. And it's incredible. And this is probably one of my favorite music videos to this song is really good. I think it goes perfectly with what the song is, and the incorporation of the song. There's so much bad stuff going on in the news. No matter where you go, it's just constantly bad. And there's so much, sadly, horrible stuff going on around the world. And if you think about like where we were in 2020 and 2021, like so some of the stuff that were happening there. Yeah, and I think you can hear the anger released in this song, and vocally and instrumentationally, and the freaking cowbell, so good. It just anyways, very good song and very just off to the next, like keeping it good. Third song is called Running Out of Time.
Said I was gonna take some flowers to my neighbor, but I ran out of time. Said I walked the dog a little further than the driveway tonight, the extra mile. Intentions only get you so far.
The rhythm in this guitar is good.
Never mind, I hit the snooze on my alarm 20 times, so I was just so tired.
Honestly, same.
Shoulda, coulda, wouldn't matter, ultimate alibi. You know it's a lie. There was a fire, metaphorically. Be there in 5, hyperbolically. She's so far. That's where I'm intrigued.
That's such a good part.
A harsh reality to discover. I'm always running out of time. She's always running out of time. Why we gotta be in a rush? My watch is just for decoration. Look, I showed up early for once. Now that's a new sensation.
Dun, 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 dun.
We're always running out.
Really good song right there. I think it keeps, just giving. It just keeps giving. And I keep wanting more. I feel like the theme of this song is very relatable. I feel like as adulthood, you feel like you're running out of time. You just, what the hell? There's never enough time to do everything you want to in a day. Like you feel like time is passing by, and by the time you know it, the month is over, the year's over, and you're like, where the hell did time go? And even on like on a daily, you're like, I want to do this and I want to do that, and then you realize you're tired or something came up, and then you can't do that. Life how it is, and then you're just like, well, there it is. That's how the day went. So I feel like that's a very relatable adult theme here, and it's just part of sadly growing up and getting older. You feel like time just passes by. But this is their third official single, and I say official because I think the next song was released before this song. I don't remember, but I have a feeling that the fourth song was released before the third song, but the fourth song was not a single. There was like a lyric video to it, but it wasn't a single. But this song did have like a music video. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking nonsense, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't know why my memory is giving me that. I could be very, very wrong. Who knows? Speaking of the fourth song is called Sekosa, which I think that's how you say it. Sekosa.
In a single year, I've aged 100. Is it still long enough to listen to yourself, or maybe just long enough for you to atrophy to hell? I'm off caffeine, on doctor's orders. Lucky for me, I run on spite and sweet revenge. It's my dependence on the friction that really hinders my progression. I know that regression is rarely rewarded. I still need a certain degree of disorder.
That quota.
I know that regression is rarely rewarded. I still need a certain degree of disorder. I hate to admit getting better is boring, but the high cost of chaos. Who
Can afford it. Ooh, yeah. Totally was not expecting that from them at all. I didn't know they even had that type of like vibe to them, and I'm here for it. It's going back to like when I first heard it, I'm like, what in the world is this? I've never heard anything at like close to this from a Paramore song, and it's so good. It's such a fun song. I actually am a big fan of this song. I like the song so much. It always gets me in such a vibe, and it's so like poppy and dancey and just like yes. I will say if you ever heard this song live from Paramore, I'm very jealous of you. And a big shout out to I believe it's all of Latin America who got to see Paramore. They performed this during that part of the tour, and congratulations, you guys definitely deserve it because this song is so good. And from the videos I saw, it's such a vibe. And I don't know, I wish I could see it live. That's on one of my like songs to see live from Paramore. It's such a nice song. It's so just like yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So before we get into this next section of the album, during the album release week, they collaborated with record stores all across the country and I believe other parts of the world where they allowed you to listen to the album before the album came out on the release date. And so they would play it for you at the record store. And I actually got the opportunity to go there the week of and to listen to the album. And it's the first time I've ever done that with artists. I know other artists have done it in the past. And it was pretty cool, just because the people that are there to listen to the same thing you want to listen and are like Paramore fans and are wanting to hear the greatness that they've created, and it's pretty incredible. And I'm just like, wow, this is cool. And I mean, again, this is like kind of starting the This Is Why era. Like, we're into it. They've already released singles, but right before the album comes out, it's like, oh, this is just cool to be surrounded by like peers who's just love and admire Paramore for the incredibleness that they are and the talent that they are. And it's just pretty awesome. And there's also a different experience where you actually get to see other people's first reaction, including your own, because you're listening to the album for the first time. And so the first four songs had already been out before the album came out. So from 5 to 10, those 6 songs, those everyone was listening for the first time, being like, whoa, what is this? And so, yeah, I remember just like jamming out to 1, 2, 3, 4, those songs, and everyone was kind of also like vibing to the song because like they had been out. But then this is really where like your ears were just like, all right, what give us the more than we want. And let's get to it. Let's get the more than we want. So this next song, which is their 5th song, is called Big Man, Little Dignity.
Don't mean to stare at you from across the room. It's like I'm glued to the sheer sight of you, and you're so smooth. It's pitiful. Big man who
Her vocals here.
really don't take nothing. No offense, but you got no integrity. Big man
Such a whole different vibe and so much calmer. And yes.
Well, look at you. Don't you clean up nice? Keep your head high, smooth operator in the shit stained suit. Big man who really don't take nothing. No offense, but you
got no
integrity. Big man who
Just here.
I can't look away. I'm memorized all your life. I can't look away like the movie that I love to hate. I keep thinking the end is gonna be different, but you keep on winning. Big man who little dignity.
Alrighty then. That's Big Man, Little Dignity. Definitely the quietest song so far of this album. As a Paramore fan, definitely love their hard, heavy rockin' songs, which again, if you go to like older Paramore music and even into like some of the songs in the self-titled album, like they have it. It's there. It's there. Um but to the opposite of that, I also love the beauty of a quiet and soft Paramore song. It also has the same impact that a loud, heavy song does, or specifically Paramore. Like both of these things are incredible, and we don't get those as much as you go back to the early music. It's very, very emo pop punk heavy. This is another beauty of music, and the now that they're tapping into it more, I want to say it's like with more subtitle and more after laughter, and like now with This Is Why, I am 100% here for it, and I just it's a great song. Hidden message, it's there, it's there. But yeah, just such a good song. All right, now we are getting to the second half of the album. We're now going into song number 6. But again, another thing before we go into song number 6 is that in my mind, when I, listen to the album a couple times, like on repeat and fully digesting it, within those, time frame, I started to realize that at least for me, the first 5 songs are kind of like a side A, and the last 5 songs are a side B. Now, naturally, because there's 10 songs, you kind of cut it in the middle, but also like I just felt like what we had heard before the album came out, first 4 songs, and then you had this one, like that's a piece of the music. And then you get to the second piece of the music and you're like, yes, they're connected, and you know they're connected, but why is this one so much more juicier? I don't know what I mean by that, just by the fact that like, and it's maybe because some of my favorites are on the second half of the album, but I was like, why did they not release some of these, songs, the second half of the album, as singles, and they just stick to the first, half of the album? That's the part where I didn't confuse. Now, mind you, like they are successful regardless of what single they release and whatnot. And we close up a conversation, which we don't want to have. They are successful because not only am I holding the 6th studio album for Paramore, I am also holding a 2-time Grammy Award-winning album, with the album itself award-winning and their single This Is Why award-winning. So success, I agree. Yes, it's right there. But I think the reason why I mean singles for the second half of this album is because I just wanted like non-Paramore fans to get to listen to it. I mean, come on, it's accessible and they could get there, but I just wanted like the radio to play it and like more people to play it, just so they can also share the excitement that we as Paramore fans already do and know the incredible work this beautiful album is. And so that's what I mean by just like a single, so more people can listen to it and they can experience the amazingness this entire album is. And yeah, that's all I mean. All right, officially kicking off song number 6, You First. Such fun lyrics there. Oof, her vocals soften out. You heard her? She never said she wasn't petty. Period.
Never said I wasn't petty. I'll do better when you're better. Let me revel in your defeat. Everyone is a bad guy, and there's no way to
That was you first. I don't even know how to begin with this song because I remember when I was first hearing it, I was just blown away by this song and not at all expecting this song. Kind of like Seco Style, I was just like, I didn't know this is what y'all had in you and what the hell? Why did you not have it before? But I think the reason why, and this was one of the songs that I just played on repeat and repeat and repeat, even after like a while playing the album on repeat, like this song was just like on the top of my vibe list. It's such a good song. And the reason I go back to like why side A and side B, this song gives me very much first song of the album vibes. And you could have fooled me if you had swapped this song and this is why, like they both have like this is how the album begins. Um so that's why I felt like the first half of the album was like a mini part of the album, and then you get to this part and you're like the second half of this is also a mini album. Like I don't know what I'm saying, but it's such a good song. I really love this song. It's probably top 10 favorite Paramore songs. Like it's up there. Um it's definitely one of my favorites off this album. It gives such a different energy, but I think it really brings together Haley's vocals, uh, Taylor's guitars, and Zach's percussion all together. Like it just blends so well in this song. Not that it's bad or anything in the other songs, 'cause they're all freaking amazing. But I think this song really showcases each of their strengths and balances it very well. Um, yeah, and again, one of my favorite songs of this album. 10 out of 10 would recommend. So we're moving to song number 7 called Figure 8. The instrumentation here is very nice.
Drain me dry, down to the last drop. Yeah, once you get me going,
Hear the screaming.
once you get me going,
These vocals in the background are just
all for your sake. Became the very thing that I hate. I lost my way, spinning in an endless figure eight. I was only being kind,
but you mistook me for weak.
and once I get going,
Here we go again.
I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to. All for your sake, spinning in an endless figure eight.
Yes. I like how it's just like the decrescendo, and it's just like
Candlelight, burning till broad daylight. Candlelight, burning it both ways tonight. How could I, if I made up in a high? You'd be wise if you twice. All for your sake. Now I think I'm losing my shape. Let's
here we go.
no end and no
Yes. I just want to point out that in the live concert, Taylor's just shredding at the end, and it's so freaking good. Um, wow. Okay, so I feel like in this song they really, really, really like use the power of volume. They know you can feel the anticipation, you get to the loudness, and then you bring it back down, and the control, it's not like a drop. It's like pause, go on, and it I it's good. It's good, and I am here for it. It's such a good song. It's such a vibe. You can hear it in like the guitar, the drums, like the production, and then Haley's vocals, where she's like really going at it at the end. But during the song, you kind of like hear her build up vocally and then come back down, and hear her build it up and then come back down, and can I lie, can I, like, it's just such control. Wow. And in all parts, it's not just her vocally. I mean, I literally mean that in like every single instrument in the whole production of the song. Like, it's such control, and they use it so well, and clearly such a amazing product that came out because of that. So just blown away. Yeah, and I think when I heard it for the first time, I was just like, what is this, and why don't I have more of it? So, like, literally listening in the record studio for that album that first time, it was just like, more please, more please, more please. Like, it's just goodness. Like, I wanted more. But yeah, that is figure eight. All right, we are in song number 8 called Liar.
What was the moment? It's hard to say. I'm sure I don't remember anyway. Before I only knew to hesitate. Pinned back in the grenade. And all my love, I lied to you, but I never needed to. I got too good at fighting chemicals and dodging errors I was asking for. Wading through the fog and then it disappeared. Naked when I'm here, and what should I do when I was so at once
So crystal clear. Do y'all notice how it sounds like a beating heart?
Love is not an easy thing to admit, but I'm not ashamed of it. Love is not awakening if you feel it rushing in. Don't be ashamed of it.
Let me go back.
And all my love, I lied to you, but I never needed to. Oh, my love, I lied to you, but you always knew the truth.
Wow. So we knew that Haley and Taylor were dating prior to the release of this album. This song kind of really let us into their lives a little bit more, and in a more deeper and emotional way. First off, thank you for giving this to the fans. We don't need to know everything about their lives. But the fact that wrote this incredible song and are sharing with it, and is very personal to them, like deep one-on-one personal, that they're sharing this with us, that is just beautiful. And you can honestly hear the love and sincerity in the song, not just vocally, like literally the whole production of the song. And yeah, so thank you for sharing that with us. And it came such a beautiful song. Like, wow. Like, I don't know what to say besides it's just beautiful, and you can really, really hear the emotions. And like I mentioned earlier, like we stand those heavy songs, and those are great. But then there's everything in the middle that we also love. And then you have on the opposite in the end where it's just like this sweetness that we also love. So it's just like, wow, wow. Like the amount of talent all these folks have, both Paramore and Para4, performing, is beyond. And I'm just happy that I'm part of this fan base and get to support them from the beginning and kind of just see them grow into what they are now. And it's incredible. All right, we're getting close to the end of the album. The second to last album, second to last song of the album is called Crave. Crave. Crave.
I can't wait to memorize this day. Oh, a picture cannot contain the way it feels. You say live in the present. I'm already dreaming of how it begins and trying to savor the moment, but I know the feeling will come to an end. So I crave to do it again, all again. Just for a second, it all felt simple, more I romanticize even the worst of times when all it took to make me cry was being alive. There isn't a moment that I wanna change. Now I crave to do it again, all feel the present, future, and the past connected.
Vocals right here. Right here. Oh man, that's crazy. Yes, 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 yes. The question you asked, is this one of my favorite songs from this album? Yes, the answer is yes, because yes. Um wow. As far as the messaging of this song, I definitely can relate. Um Specifically for concerts, like you look forward to it so much in like an example, like it's present, looking forward to a concert in the future. You get to the concert, it's beyond incredible. The concert's over, and then you're like, oh my God, I want to do it again. Like, I wish I could do it again. And it's like a combination of time of like something that you crave from the present to the future, and then once it happens, it's something you crave from the present in the future in the past. It's a weird timeline mix there, but you know what I mean. Like, it's just something that you just look forward to so much, and then it happens, and then you're like, wow, I put so much energy to look forward to it, and it's done, and now I want to do it again. um at least I kind of feel that about concerts. It's just like, you did it, it's like, wow, I can't wait to go to that concert. And maybe not the same artist, and sometimes the same artist, but the experience is just like, wow. And it's such high energy and amazingness. And this song really gives me a nostalgia factor that I don't think a lot of songs do. Not in the sense of like how the song sounds. It's more like of what the meaning of the song is presented and means. That's the nostalgia of, it makes you remember some of the stuff that you went through and things that you look like at that time you were looking forward to, and then it happened and it was great and you're like, wow, I can't believe that happened. Okay, we made it to the very last song of the album, song number 10, called Thick Skull.
I am a magnet for broken pieces. I am attracted to broken people. I pick 'em up and now my fingers are bleeding and it looks like my fault. It over the head, epiphany over my head, repeatedly, thick skull never did nothing for me, same lesson again. Come on, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Only I know where all the bodies are buried. Thought by now I'd find 'em just a little less scary. Make it easier, but you don't get used to it. Keep on autopilot. Come on out with your hands up. I'm coming out with my hands up. Come on out with your hands up. Hit over the head, over my head. Thick skull never dead. Same lesson again. And it looks like I'm caught red-handed.
Wow. Such a powerful message. This song, again, kind of references the, at least in my head, the messages that the news was kind of about, as far as like the frustration in the summer of 2020, and not specifically summer 20, because sadly it continues to happen. But just, the protests of innocent lives getting killed in this country and sadly around the world. And putting that into a song, and how the news I interpret as anger, I feel like this one was more frustration, because it's a balance of how do we deal with like innocent people dying and nothing is getting changed, and then it happens again and then again and then again, and try not to get numb to it, that it happens so much now and nothing has changed, or if it has, it's not enough to stop it because clearly it's still happening, which is such a sad reality. But I feel like what they felt during that time, they put it into the song in a frustration, like the emotion they were showing was frustration. As far as the news, I felt like that what they were showing there was anger, and two separate feelings could be the same thing, but wow. And you kind of go through like the stages, and it's like, why you sad it's happening, you get angry that it's happened, then you get frustrated that nothing changes over time, and it's just like, what in the world? So I feel like that, at least to me, that's the interpretation I got from this song. I mean, it's a really good song. This song took me, I think, longer to accept. It wasn't as easy as like, I wasn't easily hooked on compared to some of the other songs in the album. It took me a minute. And I think just because sometimes we use music as an escape, or music to connect with as a certain emotion. And I think this emotion is not something that I'm used to connecting with in a song. So the fact that I heard it, it took me a while to connect emotionally to this song compared to the other ones. Again, just because the message this song brings is very different than what we're used to, um, or at least that I'm used to. And so it took me a while to digest and really get into the song deep dive. Not that it's a bad song, it's a really good song. Um, but it just took me longer to connect to this specific song. And I mean, that happens in almost every album I listen to. There's some that you instantly get hooked, and then some that takes longer. And then in the future of all of that, the songs that you connected first doesn't necessarily mean those are the songs you're into then. And sometimes the songs you connected last to are the songs you're into. I don't know. It's weird. That's happened to me before. Like I said, with all other albums, all Paramore albums, that's happened to me. An odd one to me that took me a while to connect to was Still Into You. It was on the radio. The album was out. You know, it's one of their singles. And I couldn't get into it at first. I don't understand why. Clearly, over time, I definitely got into it. And, you know, it's a freaking great song. It was never a bad song. But I don't know why it took me a while to get into it. Um, it just, it takes a minute sometimes. It takes a minute. And that's why I think going back and listening, not having like this first reaction, but so much like a year after the album has been out, like you hear it differently. You're not hearing it for the first time or the fifth time or the 10th time. Like you have spent time with it. You might have put it away for a second because, you know, another album came out. And then you go back to it and, you know, moments in your life happen, but now these songs are in your life and you can really connect some moments to these songs. So this is why I like, you know, waiting to digest the album fully, because your perception in one day / 1 week, a month, and a year are all going to be different because you might be in different places of your life that at one point this song you connected strongly to and now you don't connect as strongly to it, and there's another song you connected strongly to it. So yeah, this is why we are celebrating a year out and, you know, just enjoying the amazing that this is. And at least in my point of view, a year later it's gotten better. Like every listen, it's just really, really good. And I love albums that are great from the start and just grow and grow. And this is one of these albums. And I just know this album, as time goes on, is just going to get better and better and better, in the sense of like, it's going to, you know, last the tell of time. It's going to be a good song. It's going to be, I'm not a good song, a good album. Well, I mean, all of the songs, but it's going to be a good album. And it's really going to, you know, 5 years from now, it's like, yeah, my goodness, this album and this era was friggin' amazing. And it is, and it was. All right, so my overall thoughts of this album, this beautiful, gorgeous album, is that I really can tell the growth of these amazing human beings have gone through. Taylor, Zach, and Haley have, you know, grown, and you can definitely hear the growth from their sound in 2017 when they released After Laughter. It had been almost 5 years since we haven't had a full album out from Paramore, and you can tell, you can hear how they've grown as a band, as individuals, and as, you know, human beings, like how we are. And I really like that. I really like this sound, or I should say, I really love this sound. And I'm excited because at least what they've told us is that Thick Skull was the first song they wrote for this album, and it's the last song on this album. And this is why it was the last song they wrote on this album, which is the first song on this album. So interesting how that works. And so going off of like, okay, well, if their last song on this album was This Is Why, and that's the vibe they were giving, I just get re-excited because I'm curious to see where their next sounds like. And now as an independent artist, I mean, the sky's the limit for them. Like they can really, you know, really go wherever they choose to go. And, you know, as a Paramore fan, like we're always here and supportive of where they are and very happy of where they are in their lives. And, you know, just, I think this is like their best era just because of musically how great this is, and not that they've had like bad music, but I think they are really in the present of like the greatness, and really in the present of like each other. And I think that's the most important part, like being present of the now and really taking in everything and just being appreciative of all the bumpy roads that they've gone. And I'm sure there's other videos that can tell you their history, but to see where they're at and how happy they each are, oof. Now that's amazing. That's amazing. If I had to name three of my top favorite songs from this album, I think my third would be The News. Yeah, my third one would be The News, just because, like I had mentioned earlier, it has sounds of their old music, but it really combines it with their current music, and mixed together, it just sounds so great. So I think that's a song that just constantly repeat, TBH. The second I would choose was Crave. Again, it gives me like a nostalgia to it, and I just love how it sounds, and it sounds so much better live, guys. Oof. If you got to see Paramore and got to see the song, like, you know what I am talking about. This song is chef's kiss. And then with the outro in that song, oh my god, just like, oh my god. Okay. The last song I would choose as my favorite from this album is You First. Again, I fell heavy for that song, like heavy from the first time I heard it. That was the one song that I needed to hear the most again, and I couldn't and had to wait. So I was like, why is this amazing? Like, what the heck is so good, so good, so good, so good, so good. And it's still one of my favorites of this album. And the fact that since the first time I've heard it, yeah, I've been hooked, and hasn't changed. Now, will that change maybe a couple years? Who knows? Albums, change as life grows, and those favorites move around. But I think those are my top three right now. Yeah. So if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest, I'd probably give it 5 antlers. Yes, 5 moose antlers. It's so good. I definitely recommend, guys. If you haven't bought it, please go buy it. If you are streaming it, stream it again. Tell your friends, tell your family, share it with everyone. Share the amazingness that this album is, and the incredibleness, and because we're very proud of what Paramore has done in their career, and very proud of what they've produced. And this is just a beautiful production that they've given the universe, and we are here to say thank you. Yep, thank you. I also want to say thank you to you, the viewer. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for joining me today and reviewing and celebrating this beautiful album. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. This is a growing channel, so I would appreciate if you subscribe down below. It is free for you to do. It costs you absolutely nothing. All you gotta do is press the subscribe button. And yeah, and then as this channel keeps growing, there'll be more videos and more to celebrate, more to go over, more joys. This channel's still very new, and so I would appreciate your support. It would mean the world to me, and it would go a long way. The last thing before I let you go is I want to hear your thoughts on this album. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts on this album. Also, let me know what your top 3 favorite songs of this album. Curious to know, again, everyone has different experience, everyone has different tastes and whatnot, so I'm kind of curious to see everyone's favorites and everyone's thoughts. So comment down below, let me know what your thoughts are, let me know what your favorite songs are. Yes. Well, until next time, bye!